You know the type, right? Someone who goes all in on a new project, a new workout, whatever it is, only to completely burn out and crash a few weeks later. But what if there's a better way? What if the real secret to success that actually lasts isn't about those big, heroic bursts of effort, but about the small, consistent steps you take every single day? Well, today, we're diving into the power of process over pride and why slow and steady almost always wins the race.
So here's the big question for all of us. We all want to grow, right? We want to get better. But how do we actually do it in a way that sticks? Is it about these grand, dramatic transformations? Or is there maybe a quieter, more sustainable path to real growth? Let's think about it with a really simple analogy. Eating. You wouldn't eat a massive feast on Monday and then just starve yourself for the rest of the week, right? Of course not. We all know that consistent, balanced meals are what keep our bodies healthy and strong. And it's the exact same principle for our personal growth. We see the story of the spectacular flameout all the time. The athlete who trains like a beast for a month and then just quits. The writer who churns out a novel in a crazy frenzy and then gets completely burned out. But true mastery, real, lasting strength, that's built brick by brick, day after day. It's not about the flash, it's all about the follow-through. Okay, so how do we actually cultivate this kind of consistency? Well, it starts with understanding what we're working with. I want you to imagine your raw talent, your natural gifts and abilities as crude oil. It has potential, for sure, but in its raw, unrefined form, it's pretty much useless. You can't put crude oil in your car and expect it to go anywhere. It has to be refined first.
You see, your natural talents might get you noticed. They might even get you in the door, but they are not what's going to keep you in the room. Real authority, the kind of success that lasts, that comes from what you do with those talents. It comes from putting them through a refining process.
And listen, this refining process, it's not supposed to be easy. It's all about facing challenges head-on, embracing the pressure, and letting the heat of your experiences transform you. It's in that struggle that we separate what's useless from what's useful, and we refine that raw potential into something truly powerful. Now, of course, you can try to skip this whole process. You can try to just rely on your natural talent to get by, but that is a shortcut to a dead end. Seriously, without that refining process, you're building everything on a shaky foundation, and eventually, a collapse is pretty much inevitable.
So what does this refining process actually look like in a person's life? Let's get practical and look at a real-life example, a story about how one man's pride was absolutely shattered and how that humbling moment was the key to everything.
Okay, so picture this. Our storyteller is a respected teacher, and he's at a graduation ceremony. He's expecting to be honored, to get some recognition, his moment in the spotlight. To put it simply, he was full of pride. But then they start announcing the awards. They call third place, second place, they call first place, and his name is never called. With every name that isn't his, that pride starts to curdle into pure shame. He's sweating, he's humiliated, just wishing he could disappear. And right there, in that moment of total humiliation, he has this incredible revelation. This whole experience wasn't about getting a piece of paper, an award. It was about receiving a reward, a fundamental change in his character. It was about breaking the very pride that was holding him back.
This whole idea of breaking down pride and building character is at the very heart of something the source material calls consecration. Now that might sound like a big, intimidating word, but it's a really powerful idea, and it's the foundation for everything we're talking about.
So what is consecration? It's not some grand one-time declaration. It's the opposite, actually. It's the small, daily choices you make. It's the disciplined habits you build, the routines you stick to. It's the quiet, consistent work of making sure your actions line up with your values.
And consecration has two sides to it. Think of it as subtraction and addition. It's about removing the things from your life that hold you back, the negative influences, the pride, and at the same time, adding the things that move you forward.
So what could this look like in your life? It might mean setting aside time each day for quiet reflection, or for reading and learning. It could be about connecting with the community. The point is, it's about intentionally building a life and a routine that supports your growth, instead of just hoping inspiration strikes out of the blue. So where does all this lead? All this routine, all this process, what's the point? Well, it leads to the finish line, because ultimately, this isn't about who has the most impressive start. It's about who has the endurance to actually finish the race. And that's the ultimate payoff right there. A life built on consistent, disciplined action gives you a kind of resilience that can weather any storm. It's not about having more talent or getting lucky, it's about having a process.
So, at the end of the day, we all have a choice to make. Are we going to be a builder, someone who's focused on the slow, steady, often unseen work of laying a solid foundation? Or are we going to be a performer, always chasing the next stage, the next bit of applause, the fleeting validation of the spotlight?
And here's the beautiful irony in all of this. The real path to true growth, to success that actually means something, it isn't up, it's down. It's the path of humility, of service, of embracing the process.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. In a world that just screams for the spectacular, the viral, the overnight success, are you willing to embrace the slow, the steady, the unseen work of building something that will actually last? Are you building a process, or are you just chasing a platform? The choice, as always, is yours.